A single thing even says GSC game.
We're on the literal quest to find GSC.
They don't even say what they are. They just say
PDA
it's
might help.
Force our way through.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You can't hide GSC. Tommy is literally trying to sniff out GSC like a bloodhound. It's to the left, Tommy! Tommy! Totally to the left, totally to the fucking left. Because they're, like, when we saw the advertisement is with these dudes. Remember?
We're definitely in the right area.
I'm telling you, we are zoning in.
We're zoning in, dude.
We're zoning into the zone. Let's go this way. Sorry!
Oh my god! Oh, that's such a just like totally fucking nowhere. Oh
Yes! Y'all. We fucking So, I did make it to PAX. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am like, you could probably hear it in my voice. I'm a bit worn out. I've got so little sleep. Trying to make this video, but I've been sick ever since I got back. So if I feel off, I'm doing my best, you guys. I'm like been trying to think of like where to even begin this video. I'm telling you, there's just so much. So I'm going to be showing you guys some other various clips and things like that, as well as talk about the gameplay, because that's kind of like the biggest thing, right? And then a few other things, yeah. We'll figure it out as it goes along. You guys, Stalker 2 is so legit and so hardcore, it crashed an entire PC. The moment of truth is finally about to happen. Tommy's already up, and I'm next. So before I started playing, I was like, you know what's going to happen? I'm probably going to die to a anomaly. If anything's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. And sure enough, it did. I don't remember which one actually. As it happens, I walked into one and Anyway, and you know what's super nice is the demo has a really lovely feature where it counts your deaths on the little screen every time you die. So that was so lovely to know. I died 3 times my first playthrough. Oh my god. I'm embarrassed to tell you guys how I died, but I'm going to, because if y'all can't make fun of me, who do we have? So, the anomaly was the first one, as I said. Again, I just don't remember what I walked into, to be honest. God, I hate really revealing the second one. I really do. In my defense, I was really balls deep into the PDA, and I was trying to just be all up in that, and I didn't realize a blind dog was attacking me quite right away. And anyway, by the time I got myself together, it just was too late. I died to the blind dog. And then naturally I died to the bloodsucker as well. So those were my deaths. I at least didn't die in the shootout. So one of the things that is a bit confusing to get with it, and I'm just going to say this contributed to my death. I'm just going to give myself what excuses I can. Learning the controls was a little bit different. So obviously we're very used to locking our healing buttons and like our F keys, right? They're trying to make it where obviously quick healing is a pretty common thing in most games, and where it should just already be locked into something more easily accessible. So Q was, if I recall right, it's tapping Q to do your med kit, and then it's holding Q to do your bandages. It was a little janky. I'm just going to go into that later. Hold on, because that goes into another story. And then so the lean, so when we were doing the firefight, I actually was just scrubbing it a bit because I kept hitting the wrong buttons because I was trying to lean, and Q and E don't do that. So it's supposed to actually be Z and C that do your lean when you shoot. So those, I didn't use lean too much because I had to keep like, my hands are tiny, and I don't know if this is a really dumb excuse, but certain keys are it's very awkward. Like trying to hit, like certain keys are a little bit difficult for me to like hit and hold. So certain things would probably definitely have to be changed up as far as like when you get the game, change your own keys. But for sake of ease, they had printed out paper that tells you what all the keys are and things like that and what it is for the new stuff. Oh yeah, and also because the other thing that threw me off was to get your artifact detector out, instead of hitting O, you hold tab and then hit Q, I think, to get your artifact detector out. So yeah, so there's a handful of different things to learn as far as that goes. But yeah, so the keys were a little different. Blanked out at that point. Okay, so upgrades was the thing that was my focus a little bit, so to speak, just because I know I've seen a lot of questions about the upgrade tab, and I know we all seem to have a little bit more questions on it. Like, okay, we've seen in the videos, okay, there's upgrades, but we haven't got to like see it. So thankfully I got to actually get some video footage of the upgrade tabs for you guys to take a look out and see. Not too much here. We were given permission, Tommy and I, to have our partners record over our shoulder for a little bit, so we could get some footage. So yeah, so with the armor, some of the things that I noticed with the armor is that you get silicone sealing, which gives you chemical protection. They had an asbestos layer, which gives you thermal protection. Additional artifact container, which makes sense. I think that's cool that you can get that too, like even on just like the base jackets if you really want to like max out them artifacts. Well, I guess I don't know how many you can do. With the pistol, I didn't get to look at much with the pistol, but they did have a weight reduction with the pistol. And then later on, I realized, of course, when I got some of the other weapons, like the AR-416, they let you go through and look at all of the kind of upgrades for that. So that one had like a cheek pad upgrade where that will help with like your breathing holding, which, to be honest, if that was in the demo, I did not think about it or try it, so I have no idea. Protective spray, which helps with wear and tear, so things like that. So it's nice that we get to see kind of a look of what it appears that you can upgrade straight from like yourself, and I'm guessing you'll find items to do so. I did search a lot of the map trying to find and see, like, are we going to find like an upgrade item like we get, like, you know, you find like a Kevlar or something like that? Are we going to find like some kind of piece where it's like, oh, you can use this to upgrade? To my knowledge, there wasn't either. I didn't find anything, or it just wasn't in there, which makes sense. The demo, to a point, they have to keep it quite linear, which makes sense because GSC gives quite a generous amount of time with the demo. They give you 30 minutes, very much to like the events dismay, because they wanted them to, they were telling us that they wanted them to cut the demo to like 20 minutes because the line was so long. So like when me and Tommy got in line, it was like a 4 hour, it was like a 4 hour wait, which, mind you, it didn't even feel like that. I'm going off track here, but it didn't even feel like that because the devs were so neat. They chatted with us quite a bit and let us ask, you know, just like questions, and just like kind of jammed with us. So it actually went pretty quickly. I don't remember where I was going with this story now. You guys, I'm so out of it. So the next thing I really want to talk about is mutants, so we're just going to go on to that. First one being the flesh pig. Now, I know Judson's going to die inside. When I say that, I initially didn't give the flesh pig like any attention. I saw him in the distance, and I was just like, whatever, it's a flesh pig, who cares? I know, I'm so sorry, Iggy, you're dying inside to hear that. But and then I turned around again, and they were flying through the air at me. They have like charged at me from across the way, saw me from a distance, and charged at me, and I forgot about it. I was so baffled because it was just one of them, and I'm just like, why are you attacking me? I'm like, where's your posse? I'm like, when did you get the cojones to do this? So that was, so the fact that the flesh pigs are more aggressive is definitely very interesting, because it'll take a little, probably not much, but it'll, like, if you guys are like me, I just, like, if I see a flesh pig, I tend to just ignore them a lot of the times unless I have a real need to go after them. I just am like, okay, cool, you're there, I'm here, let's go, and then they're fine, I'm fine, but I guess we have to be very well aware of them now, because they're angry. They're very angry. Bloodsuckers then. So bloodsuckers. So fighting them, of course, was rather difficult. If you guys have seen the gameplay, they are harder to see, and due to the monitors, they were even harder to see. So like the monitors provided for the event were had such a glare. Oh my god, they had such a glare on them. So the dark scenes were really certain points where you're just like squinting at the screen, like doing this, like I'm trying to like work the angle the best, and especially when you're trying to find a bloodsucker that already you barely can see. So possible tip to help you guys with the bloodsucker. And again, I don't know if this was just because of the monitor or not. It might genuinely be easier. So to try and track the bloodsucker, the main thing I was doing is just trying to follow by listening. But when you start to hear them get closer, if you look towards the foliage at the ground, I think that is going to so far be our easiest way to identify when they're close. Is for me, and again, I don't know if it was just the monitor. Again, it's harder to see in general, but just trying to look in like your normal focus, like field of view, was very difficult to try and locate him. So for the most part, it was just a lot of locating him through sound and tracking him and where he was going like this. And then when he was getting closer and you can kind of hear it, if you look down at the foliage on the ground, I think that's going to be your best way to tell when he's see where he is you're going to see a bit of manipulation in the environment, a little, whatever, fragmentation, whatever you want to call it. So that will be probably the best way to do that from at least what I understand. That was what I was trying, at least anyway. Making the best of them. But they're a lot more difficult, but it's fun because it's very harder to see them, and especially again like it'll be interesting to see like in daylight if it's different, but it was pretty cool. Oh yeah, I got to deal with a Pulte a little bit as well. The first playthrough I missed of him. The second one I got to deal with him a little bit, but didn't like finish him off, I guess. But got to shoot at it, like he did his little rock armor, got to shoot that down, and it just kind of drops on down. And then you really don't want them to like go through you or touch you. They do quite a bit of damage if you let them. I went to walk up the stairs. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to chase you and go after you. And then they were just like, once I start walking up the stairs, they just go straight down and freaking did, I think almost, I don't know, I don't want to say half my health. I can't remember. They did quite a bit of damage. So you really don't want them touching you in any way. But they were pretty cool. Oh, let me talk about the firefight real quick as well. The A-Life system definitely seems to be working out very well. I know we're always worried about like if the enemies are going to be dumbed down too much or so forth, but don't have to worry. They definitely still know how to work together and they will flank around you. In my first playthrough, I was struggling with, again, like I didn't know that lean was like Z and C, and I kept hitting like my heal key and E. I don't think E does anything. If it does, I have no idea. Kept hitting those and was doing absolutely nothing. But so while I was trying to figure it out and get my shit together, they literally turned the corner and there's like one guy right up on me, and thankfully I had my weapon out and I was able just to blast him in time. But and then another dude to my left, and then the last guy thing stayed forward. So very cool. It's amazing to see that you're very going to have to be dynamic in your own movements, very much like the gameplay characters are, that if you stay in one place, it's not going to benefit you unless you get them way sooner, or unless that's your strategy to have them come around and get you. But no, it's very happy to see the AI working that way, which again, like, they mentioned that they're updated to the AI Life 2.0, so we had a pretty good feeling things were going to be pretty solid, but still it was just, it was really nice. Trying to think if there's anything else that it really struck me that I wanted to go on about, but I'm like, you guys know me, literally brain of a squirrel, memory of a goldfish, so. But fear not, though, because we've got a lot of really great info coming for Tommy. He had got to do an interview with some really great questions, so when his stuff comes out, I'm going to make sure to link that for you all, as well as Anomalous Dugout just came out with a pretty extensive video, and then Mozzie just did one, too. No, I'm saying that wrong. You're just going to have to deal with it. But so I'm going to link you guys down below to all of the better info stalkers, the info wizards, if you will. If you haven't got to see them yet, they definitely have the better info. But I do want to tell you guys about some of the experience, like some of the extra stuff. So as stated, we got to go, and the devs gave us some extra time at the very end of the day and let us play it again, which was really cool. Me and Tommy tried doing like a knife playthrough. We both knifed the bloodsucker. I failed at knifing. I don't know if he tried to knife the bandits or not. I gave up there because I was getting my ass kicked when I tried to do it. Oh, and also the other thing is the healing key was getting janky every now and again when I was trying to do the knife bloodsucker fight. I was like spamming Q, or like, so again, like it's supposed to be tap for medkit to my knowledge, or hold for bandage, and I'm just like bleed. Like when that bloodsucker hits you, he takes half of your health and makes you start bleeding out. So like you can't get hit again. So I'm running, panicking, like freaking spamming Q, like go go go. So there's some times where that seemed to not register, or that, or there's supposed to be a delay, but I feel like that wouldn't be the case because that doesn't make sense. But there's a handful of times where I was hitting the button quite adamantly and just nothing was happening. I'm like, no, I'm going to die to this bloodsucker. Like, let me heal. Anyway, so end of the night, we got to take a picture with them, and it was super freaking cool. And also, Tommy and I were talking about shooting our shot all day, obviously, because we couldn't not. So at the end of the night, when they were packing up and stuff, I went up to them and I was very awkward, like, "Hey, GSC, what you guys doing right now?" I'm like, "Do y'all want to go out and get maybe like some drinks, like some dinner, like with us?" And they fucking said yes. So holy shit, it worked. So we got to go out with two of the devs. I don't know that they're aware that we differentiate them like this, but we were calling them Big Nick and Little Nick because they were both Nick, and that was just our way for us to be aware of who we were talking about to each other. So sorry that is. I hope that doesn't offend, but that was our way of differentiating them, was Big Nick and Little Nick. So we got to go out to dinner with Big Nick and Little Nick. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. And it was just a super cool time. We got to ask questions about the game that mostly just made them sweat, and we couldn't really get answers to. I asked them at one point where Nimble was located, and I didn't get an answer, of course, but I got a smile. So Nimble is somewhere, you guys. Nimble is somewhere, and we're going to find them. But no, it was super cool. Playing the demo was amazing. Being able to go out and just like have like a casual like time with like some of GSC was so amazing, because they are such casual, down to earth, like chill people. It was, honestly, you guys, it was absolutely amazing. Can't believe that this whole entire like thing happened, you know what I mean? I can't believe managed to make it to PAX, managed to actually play Stalker 2 for the first time, got to meet some of the devs, got to give them a hug. It was absolutely amazing. So I don't think I can think of anything else to go on about. I don't even know how long this video is. It's probably just a mess anyway, but I think that's about it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm going to link you guys to some of the better info stalkers, so you guys can get also probably a lot more in-depth info. But again, also Tommy has his interview too. So yeah, so check it out. Bye! Feel my power!
Good man is always on time for lunch. Who says I'm a good man?
Scar.